You're already thinking pass, pass, pass. Look at the defensive line get upfield, but they don't maintain gap integrity. And so when you do that with the running quarterback, he's got too much of the field to go left, to go right, and all he has to do is outmaneuver the middle linebacker, and by then it's already too late. Here it is. Look at this. You got soft coverage in the secondary, so you're already licking your chops as a quarterback. You know you're only getting 4 rush. You got to beat one guy. And there he is, and then it's in the secondary, and that's already not even a match there, as number 11 has done what he's done all season long.
Great job by Trey Joyner, too, to key a block there that sprung Arnold on the run. 6 plays, 75 yards on the opening drive as Geyer takes the lead.
He just makes these plays look so effortless. And I play quarterback, and to run a quarterback draw when you can see the Red Seas part open, man, your eyes get big as saucers. And I can tell you, Jackson Arnold saw that opening, and he did not waste time.
Kick be picked up by Jacob Jordan, and Jordan has room around the right side. Midfield. Out of bounds across the 45-yard line of Geyer, and what a return. 30 yards for Jacob Jordan, the junior, and it sets up Carroll with great field position.
Well, that's what you're talking about, responding, right? You talk about special teams. It's that third unit on any football team.
Thomas Shea Henry brings you the starting lineup for the Dragons, led by Graham Knowles. Knowles, a junior, he stepped in when Caden Anderson, their all-state caliber QB, went down with an injury. He has done a fantastic job, LD. 1,700 yards, 17 TDs, only 1 interception. He will throw on first down. Jordan with it, and quickly picks up 10 in the first down.
Yeah, you're just saying what both these offenses like to do. They just like to take what these defenses are giving them. And if you're playing soft coverage over the inside receivers, the quarterback doesn't have to really do much but just raise up and get these guys the football. And we can see what Jacob Jordan can do in the open field.
Jordan, the leading receiver on the year. Handoff, Owen Allen breaks a tackle, and Allen will take it to the house. Touchdown, 34 yards. Owen Allen with his 36th rushing touchdown of the year, and he goes over 2,000 yards on the season.
All right, here we go. These games, you got to win them up front. You see that big block, Drew Cunningham, number 62, the right tackle. When he's all the way across the formation, this defense didn't have a chance. And you can see right in the open space, he doesn't need a ton of room. Owen Allen is a top-notch running back, especially at this level.
Tyler White with the extra point, and you've just seen 2 of the best players in the state of Texas do their thing. Jackson Arnold and Owen Allen tying the game at 7. Got just over 2 minutes gone by in this ball game, LD. Already 2 touchdowns, tie game, 7 all between Carroll and Denton Geyer, and we've seen the 2 superstars showing what they can do.
It's fun, isn't it? I mean, we just getting started. I feel sorry for the people in the parking lot. They're still trying to get in.
And there's still a bunch of them.
And it's a bunch, but yeah, this is what we kind of anticipated. You know, these defense, although they are top-notch defenses, we'll continue to say that. Here it is. Sorry, folks. Y'all didn't miss 14 points. 14 points on 8 plays.
The big kick sailing out of the end zone. The Wildcats have come back out on the field. Last time they were out there, Jackson Arnold went 49 yards on the ground for a TD and really didn't have to throw the ball much. He was throwing some short passes out to Trey Joyner at running back and the like, but overall did not try to hit the home run ball.
Yeah, and that's kind of the MO of this offense. Now, he did throw pretty well against Highland Park. He was pretty efficient, 90%, 19 of 21 for 223. Last week, only 8 of 16. They didn't need much of him throwing, but he was a hoss in the run game for 154 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Quick pass to Sutton Lee. And up to the 30-yard line for Lee, a 5-yard gain before he's pushed back. Eric Garza was helping to make the stop for the Dragons.
You know, every offense needs a Sutton Lee. You know, he's just one of these guys. Only 2 touchdowns on the season. You know, Landon Size has 15. You look at Josiah Martin, he has 8. But he has a ton of catches.
Arnold with a 6-yard run will pick up the first down. Arnold back to Lee, bobbles it, can't hold on to it. Dragons are saying that should be a fumble, but the officials say no, he never had the ball incomplete.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's a forward pass. It did go somewhat towards the line of scrimmage. Suddenly just couldn't handle it. You see the game plan right off the bat. You know, they're just trying to make this defense have to run sideline to sideline. You know, this term is defend every blade of grass on the field. And when you can stretch a defense out, make them run, that's going to open up some of these running lanes for Trey Joyner and the quarterback keepers off the read option.
Ahmad Yusuf, his first carry. He'll pick up a yard. That's going to make it a long 3rd down for the Wildcats.
Now you see the inside of this defense of the Dragons. Cade Parks, 52. He's the first guy to flash on that down there.
Arnold looks downfield, in trouble, hit and dropped. Dustin Mark, 12.5 sacks coming into the game. He adds another one, and it's a huge one on 3rd down.
And this is the reason why he leads the teams in sacks, like you mentioned. It's just a bull rush, and they stunt him across. Just no match for Yusuf. Yusuf's got to do a better job of protecting his quarterback because he is a top-notch pass rusher for sure.
Peyton June will punt the ball. Jacob Jordan is back to receive it for the Dragons. Low rolling rugby style kick. Will die at the Carroll 45-yard line. 26-yard punt. We'll take a timeout. Dragons will have the ball when we come back. Game tied at 7. .59 remaining first quarter, a tie game between Carroll and Geyer in the Class 6A Division II quarterfinals. This is the Region 1 final. The winner moving on to play DeSoto in the state semifinals. DeSoto a big winner over Harker Heights last night.
There he is. One of the best you'll see back there in that backfield.
Owen Allen been doing it since he was a freshman. He'll take the handoff. Move the pile across midfield into Geyer territory at around the 48-yard line. Spotting for about a 6-yard gain.
And this offense has been pretty heavily in the run game at 62% into this afternoon's game. They run for about 261 yards per game, and a lot of it is number 2 right there in the middle of your screen. He's averaging nearly about 8.8 yards per rush.
Knowles dropped the ball. Now throws deep, incomplete. He reached the ball out for Jacob Jordan. Jordan hit it as he was coming across. Ball came loose. Knowles was able to pick it up, but overthrew his receiver downfield.
Yeah, and you look at the quarterback, he's still not right. He's still kind of bending over just a little bit on that play. But how about the poise, right? When that ball hits the ground, I know a ton of quarterbacks probably would have freaked and probably just fell on it. But he calmly picks it up and throws a strike downfield that was just a little bit too deep.
3rd and 3 for the Dragons. Hand off Allen. Allen stopped just shy of the first down. Wildcats step up and they stop him about a yard short.
Yeah, give a ton of credit to Ivan Pena, the senior defensive tackle, number 45. He's the first guy to kind of wreak havoc in the middle. You've got Jackson Moore on that other side too as one of the defensive ends. Pretty good penetration there by the Wildcats.
4th and 1. Dragons going for a ball between Knowles' legs. Allen has to pick it up, but he's immediately tackled. And a turnover on downs as the Wildcats will take over.
And the snap's just a touch too low. But I think the quarterback probably could have handled it a little bit better. But that's a great job by Owen Allen to minimize the damage and just pick it up and try to get something out of it.
It was Vincent Berg who tackled Allen. And that gives the ball back to Geyer in Dragon territory at the 45-yard line. Trey Joyner back in the backfield. Arnold, quick snap to Lee, spins off a tackle, now hit by Logan Anderson and dropped for no gain.
That is about as good as you could possibly do on that screen defensively by Zach Englehart, number 20. Now you look at Lee's numbers on the year. Englehart made that play defensively there.
Arnold snaps one at the 40-yard line down to the 39 for Josiah Martin. 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Wildcats. Arnold will run for it. Picks up the first down across the 35 to the 34-yard line.
You can see on that play, if they get the right numbers that they want in the box, the quarterback has the option of calling his own number. And you saw the soft coverage. I thought maybe he was going to raise up and throw it to the top of the screen, but he saw some numbers and kept him himself.
Arnold, far side of the field, caught and out of bounds near the 22-yard line. Landon sides with the reception, a 12-yard gain.
And see, that's what I thought they were going to maybe do on the play before, because the corner is about 7 or 8 yards off of the receiver. Landon sides. That's an easy pitch and catch.
Arnold to run. And Arnold inside the 20, down at around the 16. Another pickup of 6 yards for Jackson Arnold.
You know, it gets to the point in the game defensively, you got to commit to trying to take something away. You can't defend everything in this offense, especially with number 11 back there at quarterback. It's just so much to defend right now.
It's Arnold to keep it inside the 10, and he will cruise into the end zone. Touchdown number 2 for Jackson Arnold, And the Wildcats take the lead.
He's at the top of his game. He's making all the right reads. He's making all the adjustments at the line of scrimmage. And when he does decide to keep it in a read option look, he's making the right reads there again. Again, one more time, how do you stop this type of offense? You got to commit to something and take one thing away is trying to slow him down.
There's a penalty flag on the extra point. It's offsides against the Dragons. That penalty declined as the extra point was good. So 4:43 remaining in the first quarter, and Geyer takes a 14-7 lead with Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, you see all the action behind the line of scrimmage. You've got guards pulling. Look at this. You got Big McLean Wiley, 59. Not only do you have him, you've got the running back, Trey Joyner. So that might actually be a called play that just looks like a read option. But all the while, it's just a quarterback power, and they overpower that defense.
Let's send it downstairs. Check in with Chris.
Doug, as a first-year head coach, Reed Heim knows that he may never have a player as good as Jackson Arnold at the quarterback position. On the field, he has all the intangibles. Also, in the classroom, has a perfect GPA. There's plenty of fanfare ahead of him at Oklahoma, but that can wait. Coach Heim says he is fully invested here, and he has been a great Geyer Wildcat.
One of the best, certainly, in the storied history, really, even though it's a short history, of Denton Geyer. Two-time state champion ball club in 2012 and 2013. A history of great quarterbacks. He probably tops the list. Jackson Arnold, Chris mentioned that perfect GPA. I'd love to point that out. 58. He is number 58 out of 604 in his senior class.
I might have been 604 in my class. That just show you how top-notch this young man really is. You know, that it's one thing to be, elite on the football field, but in the classroom, man, that's a double whammy.
Dragons find themselves down by 7 as they take over. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line after the penalty. Handoff, Owen Allen.
Boy, I tell you what, look, this defense, boy, they're playing on their toes. And when a defense is playing downhill against you, boy, that's going to be tough. You saw Vincent Burke, 37. He's the first guy. That hole opened up so wide, he feels it, and there was just nowhere for Owen Allen to go on that play.
Knowles will toss it at the 30-yard line. It's Caden Jackson managing to work his way up to the 32. And that basically just gets him back to the line of scrimmage.
We saw some solid cornerback play last night in DeSoto against Wichita Falls. Look at this cornerback play here. 13, Anthony Benford. He's the first guy to recognize it. When he shows himself, that receiver has to do one thing, cut back into the teeth of the defense.
On third down for the Dragons, they need 8. Line to gain, 40-yard line. Line to gain, 40-yard line.
Yeah, they got to get something going across the line of scrimmage. The horizontal passing game, not going to work right now. They've got to soften the middle of this secondary up if they can.
Knowles tosses one downfield, far sideline, incomplete. Jordan was the intended receiver.
That's a tough matchup. If I'm QB, I'm going away from 22 on defense, just for the simple fact, arguably the best defensive back in the state. You could say that. Already committed to Notre Dame. I would stay from Deuce for sure.
But then you have to throw against Ryan Yates,
right,
who's an LSU commit.
Where do you go?
Yeah, it's pick your poison. And speaking of Peyton Bowen, this is where he is so dangerous. Back to receive the punt.
It's a beautiful kick.
Great kick. He'll field it at the 18-yard line. And managed to get back up to the 25. Good coverage downfield by the Dragons. A 50-yard punt and a 7-yard return. Get a strong north wind blowing here at Northwest ISD. And that helped on the punt. That 50-yard bomb.
That's whipping out there pretty good. I think these quarterbacks are talented enough. The wind should not affect any of these passes for sure.
There's a motion penalty coming against Geyer. First and 15. Arnold with the completion. Landon sides. He breaks a tackle and then he drags a Dragon across the 40-yard line. 20-yard gain.
Yeah, this is fantastic football. They catch this defense shifting to a cover 3. And with the cover 3, the corners have to bail out of there. And he just raised up and through to the soft coverage.
Rushed by Ahmad Yusuf. This catch by Landon Sides. And it puts the Wildcats up 20-7.
That was right into the wind, too. That just shows you the arm talent of Jackson Arnold. These Wildcats are coming out on fire this afternoon.
Stinson with the extra point, and it's good. 2:18 remaining in the first quarter. And Geyer has taken a 14-point lead, 21-7. Let's take another look at that play.
And the pocket presence by Jackson Arnold is as good as you can get it, right? And he steps up. The defensive backs are there, but the pass is on point. And how many times a perfect pass will beat perfect coverage 10 out of 10 times? I'm telling you, that pass only thrown where his guy could catch it.
That was a perfect ball, but it was still an almost impossible catch for Sides because of the defensive backs there. He somehow was able to wrangle it in.
Yeah, do the over-the-shoulder Hank Aaron catch here. Watch this. He steps up. Now, this safety, he's eyeing the inside receiver, but he doesn't retreat. That's Eric Garza, number 9. He's got to turn and run. He cannot look at that receiver. That's his only responsibility. And then that pass was there, like you said. That was, every time I look at that catch, that's probably as good as you'll see.
Gets better and better.
Gets better and better with time and watching it again. Pass is going to be there. And this is just all about just outflanking to the outside by Clayton Whalen.
It's a handoff to Allen. Allen splits a defender. And he'll able to work his way down, able to work his way down to the third time. Everybody is able to work their way inside the stadium. Called the Big 12 Championship going on.
Yeah.
Here's a handoff. Owen Allen. He'll lose some yardage here as Geyer defense was able to wrangle him down for a 3-yard loss. Vincent Burke, who's been making plays all day, is in on that play there.
And Vincent Burke can't make that play if the defensive line doesn't do their job. You saw Jackson Moore keep outside contained.
Knowles to throw, sideline, bobbled, incomplete. Pass was intended for Clayton Whalen, and that will bring up 3rd and 23.
You're talking about a player that's starting to come along in his senior year, Brendan Bradshaw. He comes and helps over the top. That's what you're supposed to do when you're playing that safety position. You're always eyeing that number 1 receiver to your side if you're on one of these hashes. Good play there by number 20.
47 seconds left in the quarter. Allen on 3rd down. To the 45, reaching out. To about the 41-yard line, a 12-yard run. And let's send it downstairs and check in with Chris.
This is one of those 2-screen days, right, guys, with the Big 12 Championship happening right now at AT&T Stadium. Under 2 minutes to go there, and this one is tied up at 28 between K-State and TCU.
Wow, TCU always makes it interesting, don't
Always.
they? It is never an easy ride with the Horned Frogs, but I'm cheering for them. I hope they get it done down there in Arlington this afternoon. Timeout on the field with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. So we'll keep it here. And we talked just a moment ago about Geyer, that championship tradition that they've been able to establish. They have come up short a couple of times as well, including, last year, a trip to the state final. They lost to Westlake. They have had some close calls. Let's go back to Jackson Arnold's freshman season in 2019 when they lost to Westlake in the final. Eli Stowers was the starting quarterback, LD, a tremendous player. He got injured. They had to throw Jackson Arnold into the fire, and he looked like the true freshman that he was. But what an experience, and what about the way he's grown since then?
And he has overcome adversity. I can tell you what, if I'm thrown in that situation, I probably wouldn't have been able to recover. With the weight of the world on your shoulders, the mistakes that he's gonna make as a freshman, only to come back to be one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. That is nothing short of remarkable. You got to credit this young man, his resolve, his family backing, obviously, to keep him focused on, certainly on his senior year in the task at hand.
On the other side of the ball, you have an 8-time state champion ball club in the Carroll Dragons. And what that tells me, LD, is that you can't count them out at any cost. What a punt.
Heck of a kick.
Takes a nice little backwards bounce at the 1-yard line. A tremendous punt for Tyler White. LD, you couldn't do that with a 3-iron if you tried. That is the end of the first quarter. Let's take it to break. 21-7. Wildcats will have the ball on their 1-yard line when we return on CW33.
The CW33 High School Football Showdown is brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Change the way you pizza.
Going to the second quarter at Northwest ISD, Geyer leading Carroll 21-7, and we don't often get to show love to the punt. Played a beauty out for the Dragons to pin the Wildcats at their own 1-yard line.
Yeah, that is incredible. You see how he had that nose of the football down and kicked it so it would go end over end, and you get that check. He did it perfectly there.
Arnold will try to run it out on first down, heads to the near sideline, and tackled down around the 6.
Well, Doug, now with that punt, this defense has to back that up now. They've got to keep the Wildcats down on this end, because if you can hold them, you're going to force a punt into that, or excuse me, with that win. So you got to be careful here. You got to keep them down here in this end zone.
Arnold will run it again. Tackled up around the 10-yard line. a yard and a half short of the first down. Call it 3rd and 1. Dragons, this is a big play for the Dragon defense. They try to get the Gower offense off the field. And Arnold will run it again. And he picks up the first down to the 15.
Yeah, it's almost too easy. When they absolutely need 1 yard, they just outflank them. They just run to where the defense is not. You almost want to think, hey, you need to shift somebody down and from the secondary to take that soft edge away.
Now Arnold will hand it off Joyner, and he's tackled for a loss. Trey Joyner goes down. Good job by the Dragon defense.
Yeah, Dustin Mark again with those long arms and that rangy body. He is a tough block at the defensive end. That's the type of plays this defense got to continue to make.
2nd and 11.
Now you see Dustin Mark. He gets up from a 3-point stance into a 2-point stance. He's ready for a pass rush.
Hand off to Joyner. 20-yard line. Finds open room at the 40. Down the near sideline and finally chased out of bounds near midfield by Logan Anderson. A 35-yard run for Trey Joyner, who came into the game as a 1,000-yard rusher on the year. Arnold, the toss, and over the middle, inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Great job by Sutton Lee on the run after the catch, and a little delay. That may have been enough to spring Trey Joyner there.
Yeah, and you saw the block there, 77, Jacob Fritz. He does the first job, and then all the running back had to do was make Aaron Sharp miss, number 28 on defense, and then he was off to the races.
Arnold bounces one toward Josiah Martin. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
That's only his 2nd incompletion of the game. He was 10 of
13. Gower up 21-7. Arnold, toss, complete. Landon sides, breaks a tackle inside the 20-yard line. 22 yards, first down.
It's a beautiful play. And Landon sides, play action pass. He's running the slant. It's on time and in rhythm. And Logan Lewandowski doesn't have a chance with that outside position.
Back to sides inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
And Lewandowski again giving inside lining up outside and giving that 3 inside release to Landon sides every single time.
Dragons having a hard time catching their breath right now. Pass incomplete. Sides was the intended receiver. There's a flag thrown at the end of the play.
There's so much going on with that play. Landon Sides is trying to get out of the game. He's a little bit gimpy from the play before. And then you've got a pass interference again on Lewandowski here, number 22.
Our referee, John Penn. Meanwhile, just to keep you updated, TCU, Kansas State going to overtime.
Didn't they do that already?
AT&T Stadium.
I mean, good grief, those
evenly matched teams, LD.
Yeah.
Looks like the crowd finally starting to get in. Everybody that's trying to this afternoon. Still a lot of football, LD. Still a lot of football to play.
Football, man. There's a lot. This game is going at a frenetic pace for sure. And
there's a timeout on the field now. We'll take it with them. Geyer leading by 14 in the Class 6A Division II Region 1 final here on CW33. capacity crowd is here today at Northwest ISD Stadium, rooting on the Dragons and the Wildcats in the Class 6A Division II quarterfinals. Right now, Carroll with a 21-7 lead and on a drive. Coming out the 11th play of the drive, this has gone 97 yards. LD had started on their own 3. Their own 1, I'm sorry, excuse me. And they still have a couple of yards to go. Arnold, he will pick up those yards. Into the end zone he goes. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the day.
Yeah, they just have no answer for that play. Even in every single short yardage single situation, all they do is just call the quarterback power. He's got a lead blocker. You've got the offensive line. They're winning their matchups up front. And it's just no chance for this Dragons defense to even slow these guys down.
Stinson on for the extra point. And with that, it's a 3-touchdown lead for the Carroll Wildcats, 28-7 with 8:23 remaining in the first half.
And you look at this formation. You know, they bring in Cy Stovall. He's technically the tight end. When you see him behind like that, see him in the backfield, it's a power. They bring in an extra offensive lineman. The running back doesn't even have anybody to block. And by that time, Jackson Arnold's already in the end zone. It's a beautiful play design. Here it is. It's a beautiful play design. Here it is. There it is.
Look at that drive, LD. Plays 99 yards in only 3.5 minutes. Used up by the Wildcats. Their offense is on another level. I mean, it is just insane.
You know, we saw them at the very beginning of the season, the first game of the year. You know, they were working through some things, and it was pretty typical. Most offenses are a little bit slow at the beginning of the season, but, man, they hit their stride about that 4th, 5th week, and then the middle of the season, at the end of the year, now in the playoffs, this is somebody, a team that you do not want to face, but their quarterback and the way that offensive line is moving people out of the way.
Jordan will let this one bounce into the end zone. So the Dragons will take it at the 25-yard line. You look at the Max Preps rankings. Geyer comes into this one ranked number 1 in Texas, number 12 in the country. Carroll ranked number 7 in Texas, number 23 in the USA. And that's the kind of battle that we anticipated. And right now we're getting it, except that the Dragons are just a little bit behind compared to this Geyer offense.
Lot of fight in these Dragons for sure. Now this thing is far from over. You know, if I knew anything about Riley Dodge, I know he's not playing. He's still the head man of this thing, and his kids will respond.
And off Owen Allen. You know, they were in a tough tussle against McKinney last week, and it was Owen Allen that they had to ride in the second half. He ended up with over 220 yards and 4 touchdowns in leading them to victory.
6 yards and 6.5 yards per carry in that game, and they need every yard of that. But that young man on your screen there had a fantastic game too. He was 25 of 31, 347 yards, Doug, 80% completion percentage and 2 touchdowns. That's the type of game they're going to need from their QB1 right now.
Allen will take the handoff. Picks up about 3. He was tackled by Caleb Darthard, middle linebacker. And that will bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down. And this offensive line with their 4 seniors, you've got 3 returning starters up on front of this offensive line. These guys have to now meet the challenge of this front 7 of the Wildcats. They cannot afford to punt this ball right now. This is the biggest 3rd down in this half for sure for this Dragons offense.
Jordan goes in motion. Knowles will pass. Jordan has the catch and a 1st down up to the 40-yard line.
There you go. Needed that, Doug. Here it is. Reed Himes, the defensive coordinator and the head coach. He's sending the house. How about Knowles to stand tough in the pocket? It's picked up well by the offensive line, and he gets the pass out to Jordan for a 1st down. They needed that, Doug. Now can they continue with some momentum here to finish this half out at least and get some points?
1st down. Knowles waited a little bit too long through it. to the near sideline, and he was hit. There's a flag on the play, and while they sort it out, let's send it down to Chris. Hold on, we'll wait for the penalty. Call is a legal man downfield against the Dragons, and now let's go to Chris.
Well, Doug, pretty much every seat in this building is filled, and I just talked with folks from Northwest ISD. They said there is no point of a cutoff of not allowing people into the stadium. They will continue to do so until they fill every inch of grass on the berms surrounding the seats and every single place that a fan could get into this building to watch football.
Well, it looks like, judging from the outside gates, that the flow of traffic has finally waned a little bit. Now, everybody that wanted to get into this game looks like they are, and if they haven't shown up yet, they won't have a hard time getting in, so that's good. And you look at these stands, we've done a lot of games here, LD. I've never seen it this full.
No, not quite like this. And to be honest with you, not with the stakes as high as they are, and the firepower with the two marquee programs in our state for sure.
Allen with the run. Picks up 3 yards. He'll be about 2 shy of the first down.
And you got to figure at some point in time, yeah, you got to figure at some point in time, Doug, is Riley Dodge going to tell his coordinator, Chris Smith, to maybe open this thing up? It's going to be tough to take a chance. You've got top-notch, top defensive backs in that secondary.
2nd and 12. And Knowles throwing deep into coverage. It's picked off. Peyton Bowen. There's a flag on the play. Bowen will return out across the 45, midfield, and finally tackled at the Dragons' 44-yard line. That's a 26-yard return, but there is a flag, and we'll have to see what the call is from John Penn and his crew.
Oh, this is Bowen kind of pushed off and got a little bit of leverage at the end of this play to make the pick. This is what I'm talking about. Even though he's going to get flagged for this, it's still exceptional defense. This is outstanding coverage. He might get away with this in college, I can tell you that, because it wasn't too much of a push, but it was enough for the official to flag it.
That would have been Bowen's 6th interception of the year. Instead, a huge break for the Dragons as they take it across midfield into Garrett territory.
You got to make this count. This offense got to go to work here. They got to do something.
There's no doubt that the Dragons need points on this drive. Allen running left, staying on his feet to the 43-yard line, giving 5 yards on the run.
Yeah, that's what they got to continue to do. If they could get Owen Allen past that first wave of the defense, which is a tough task. Not many have done it. They can get to that secondary. You got to like your chances, because he's shown on that first carry, his touchdown of the game, the first couple of carries, that he's able to bust this thing open.
3rd and 1, Allen. 3rd and 1, Allen will force his way to a first down. Picks up 2. Owen Allen now with 94 yards in the game. He is approaching a unbelievable milestone that we'll tell you about whenever he crosses that threshold. Already the all-time leading rusher in Southlake Carroll history, and about to set a new mark. Allen with the handoff, and he picks up about 4, and that's going to do it. LD, would you believe it if I told you with that run, Owen Allen has become the all-time leading rusher, not just for Southlake Carroll, but for the entire mark of Eno Benjamin, who had 7,546 yards in his career.
That's
just
outstanding.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Production out of Owen Allen, and here he goes inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line. 13 more, and 1st and goal for the Dragons.
And if they're going to come back and win this game, it's got to be because of number 2 doing things like this, and then this offensive line. He's having to dodge defenders at the line of scrimmage, so he's already against the grain. Look at him. He's going to have to beat Vincent Burke. That's been the MO the entire game, but once he can do that, You can see what he's capable of really attacking this secondary. He almost gets it in there.
2:49 left in the first half. Dragons trailing 28-7. They need a score. Allen bounces off a man, tries to fight his way to the end zone, but taken down at the 1-yard line. 12th play of the drive, 1 yard out, and that is a huge touchdown. 1 yard out, and that is a huge touchdown for Southlake Carroll as it makes it a 28-13 game.
That is monumental. That is huge. You get that right before halftime. You just really couldn't go down anymore in this half. And they absolutely needed to put a drive together. They did it, and they come away with 7 points, Doug. That's huge.
Tyler White boots the extra point through, and now it's a 2-score game once more. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half, and Owen Allen with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
One 59 to go in the opening half. The Wildcats leading the Dragons 28-14. At Papa Murphy's, they hand make delicious pizza from scratch every day so that you can bake it to perfection in your oven just the way you like it. Papa Murphy's, they make great pizza so you can make the pizza great. Order online this weekend at papamurphys.com.
12 plays, 75 yards on the drive, almost 6. Trey Joyner with the reception on the kickoff. Thought about trying to return it, but fell down. And that
Morning, noon, and bite. It's buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. At breakfast, get a sausage biscuit. Or other morning faves. At lunch or dinner, enjoy a McDouble, McChicken, and more.
Situation before, they started on their 1-yard line on the last drive and went 99 yards for a score. Arnold, he'll take it out across the 5 up to the 7-yard line. Maybe even the 8.
Yeah, that's their security blanket type play. They call that quarterback keeper, the quarterback power with the running back lead blocking. They're guaranteed 4 or 5 yards.
2nd and 6. Arnold toss over the middle. Has Sutton Lee at the 35 and the 40 out of bounds. First down. 35 yards, and how good has Sutton Lee been this afternoon, LD?
He's been fantastic. I love the fact that these inside slot receivers are so technically sound in the route running. The depth is perfect, and the timing there for his QB.
And Arnold will take it across the 45 up to the 46-yard line.
You see on that last play how Jackson Arnold, just a flick of the wrist, The ball comes out with so much velocity. Again, he's throwing with the wind, but that velocity, it does not allow the defense to get there and make a chance on that ball. He's so accurate, and that velocity is off the chain.
And his accuracy is deadly as he finds Sutton Lee again to the 40-yard line in a first down. And we had a chance to talk to Carroll coach Riley Dodge this week, and I asked him, I said, look, you've been around the block. You've seen great quarterbacks in your day, and Riley Dodge certainly has if you know anything about his history. Arnold with the carry to the 45 and down inside to the 44-yard line. And Riley Dodge, no less an authority, said he's one of the top 3 QBs I've seen at the high school level. Yeah,
and considering Riley Dodge was one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen at this level, and that's high praise. And you're exactly right. He's technically sound, a gifted player for sure.
And he'll roll out of bounds for no gain as he was being chased down by Dustin Mark. Might even lose a yard on that play. So 26 seconds remain in the first half. Garrett up by 14, trying to add 2. Toss out of the backfield. And Ahmad Yusuf with a smart play there as he keeps running. Picks up 13 yards, catching the Dragons off guard as that ball bounced, but it was behind the line.
That was a lateral.
And that should go as a lateral, although the Dragon coaching staff certainly doesn't agree.
Ball was definitely going backwards.
Let's watch again. Riley Dodge questioning it, but let's take a look. And I think you're exactly right, LD. This ball goes backwards.
Yeah, watch this here. Yeah, that's like a pitch. That's like if he took a step and pitched it, even though it's an overhand throw, that ball goes backwards away from the line of scrimmage. Now, yeah, if I'm Riley Dodge, I'd try to protest it too, just to kind of see you need everything you can. But make no mistake about it, that's a lateral.
Coach Dodge talking with the officials about it, not happy with the outcome. That's a backbreaker kind of a play here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, especially now your offense gets you back on the board. You get to 14. You made it a 2-score game, like you said, Doug, and now you're not even thinking about, hey, we're not going to give up any more points in this half. But here come the Wildcats again with only 1 timeout. They burned it there, and with this win, already in field goal position right now. They're looking to go for more and maybe take a couple of shots here if they can.
Arnold, he'll keep it to the 20 and hit down at the 16-yard line.
They got to clock it. Got to get up and clock it.
No timeouts left. 13 seconds left in the half. Ball is rolling loose.
Oh, wow.
It was kicked. And now the officials finally blow the play dead, or blow the time dead, with 9 seconds left to go and penalty flags coming out. Yeah, that was the Dragons trying to get away with a little something there.
You should have just stayed with the first 2 times. That third time got them flagged. Because even I had a hard time deciphering if Jackson Arnold was clumsy, which I don't think he really is, but he was having a hard time picking it up. But that third time, you can see the kick. Aaron Sherp, number 28, went to the well one too many times.
They're not putting any more time on the clock, though. Only 9 seconds. And now Arnold will clock it as the time started to run off again, and now only 6 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, the coaching staff of the Wildcats pointing at the clock. Here it is. Okay, ball's up. Watch the first kick here. Right there. That's Dustin Mark. That's just part of the game. The officials don't call it, but it's that last one. That last one is what got him. You already got away with the foul. You didn't need to get greedy. Oh, my gosh.
And that's going to leave one more play on the clock for the Wildcats. They'll bring out the field goal unit rather than try to take a chance on the end zone. They'll pull Ford Stinson onto the field. Kick on its way, and it is good. 28-yard field goal for Ford Stinson makes it a 31-14 ball game.
This offense has been unstoppable. And no matter where they start their drives on the field, no matter how much time is left on the clock, this offense is so well coached. These players making the smart play, and they've got one of the elite signal callers that you could possibly have in any circumstance. That was as complete of a first half that I've seen a team with the stakes as high as they are. I've seen it a long time play.
Let's take it to Chris.
Doug, coming up on the Whataburger Halftime Report, I'll be joined by the Executive Director of Athletics for the Southlake Carroll ISD, Steve Kiesler. Also, we'll look at scores from around Dallas-Fort Worth, state quarterfinals in Class 6A, 5A, and 4A, of course, 3A, 2A as well. But we don't have time for everybody, Doug. Also, state championships in TAPS this weekend.
Absolutely, and we are looking forward to congratulating the Parish Episcopal Ball Club for a 4th consecutive state championship, won last night against Prestonwood. Meantime, we have a tremendous one going on here. It's a big lead right now for the Gower Wildcats, but you never count the Dragons out. And short kick, return, that will be the final play of the first half. 31-14 is our halftime score. The Gower Wildcats leading the Carroll Dragons in the Class 6A Division II quarterfinals. The semifinals are 3/4 of the way set. DeSoto, Katy, Austin Vandergriff all into the semifinal round. One spot remains between these two teams, and Geyer leads it 31-14 at the break. LD, you said it. A more complete half you really couldn't have from the Gower Wildcats. And before I let you talk about that, we send it downstairs and check in with Chris.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Coach, LD just said in all the years of watching football, I can't think of many more complete halves than that. How would you evaluate your team?
I'll tell you what, they are, again, just the last couple of weeks, I just really give credit to our offensive guys coming out ready to go. You know, we stumbled a little bit on that first drive. Defensively, you know, Owen Allen's a really, really good player, but we just got to make people work for things. If we can make people work for things defensively and then offensively, just find that rhythm, stay in that rhythm, it gives us an opportunity to be successful.
And with Owen, one of the things you said to us was that it was really imperative to get 2 bodies to him every single time. Did your defense do that as well as you had hoped?
At times, but then at other times, I mean, he's the heart and soul of what they do. I mean, they're going to keep feeding that guy the rock. You know, they don't panic. We got to keep doing the same thing. Throw bodies at him. Make sure when we get there, we got to wrap up, drive our feet, and get more than one guy there.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck in the second half. Doug?
All right, thanks a lot, Chris, and thanks to Coach Heim as well. The Whataburger Halftime Report comes your way next from Northwest ISD Stadium on a beautiful Saturday in December. The Gower Wildcats lead the Carroll Dragons 31-14.
The CW33 High School Football Showdown is brought to you by Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
Wired now. It's the Whataburger halftime report from Northwest ISD Stadium with Denton Geyer leading Southlake Carroll 31-14. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's made hot and fresh, just like you like it. It's the Whataburger sweet and spicy bacon burger. It's an all-time favorite for a reason. Stop on by, taste for yourself, only at Whataburger. Joining us now, it's Steve Kiesler. He's the Executive Director of Athletics in Southlake Carroll ISD, and protect the tradition is the slogan we all know, and having Riley Dodge leading this program obviously makes such a whale of difference. I know as soon as he returned to campus, everybody immediately embraced him.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's you know, I was actually with Carroll coaching when he was a little ball boy, so it was really fun to watch him come back, and he's such an amazing guy, a great leader and a great coach. I'm so happy he's with us.
And there's a lot of things, but if you could sum it up in maybe 30 seconds, what do you find most special about this program? What sets it apart and sets it up for excellence every season?
Yeah, our expectations are really high, always. And I'll be quite honest with you. There's just a will to win there, and they just believe, and all the community believes that we're going to be successful. And we have just great fans and great administration and great kids.
It's been a tremendous fall, not only on the football field, but one of the things that intrigues me is the latest addition to the UIL catalog, and that's water polo, and the Dragons end up on the medal stand.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We started water polo in August for the first year in UIL, and I really be quite honest with you, I think the last time they started a sport was like softball, and so it's been a while since we started one, and both our boys and girls finished third in state, which was amazing.
What was it like trying to get student athletes into that program, a sport that I'm sure most of them were not very familiar with?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to have a club before, and so there was a lot of kids that came out there, but there was a lot of kids that started it and enjoyed it, and you know, it's always nice to watch kids progress in their sports and do things, and then be on a medal stand's even better.
We can finalize our talk today by bragging on your cross-country team, another state championship coming back to Carroll.
Yeah, that's an amazing group. There's 180 kids every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning running, and they're actually competing in Oregon today in the national cross-country for Nike. So it's they're an amazing group, amazing coach. We're very fortunate. They're great.
Steve, appreciate your time. Always fun to see your team. Seems like we do every single year, very deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, and we got a great group. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Now let's take a listen to the Denton Geyer Marching Band. Of course, these marching bands are past their competition season now, so generally we get a little bit of a spirit show or some Christmas tunes. Let's take a listen to what the Wildcat Band has for us today.
Relax and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Geyer Wildcat Marching Band.
That was the Denton Geyer Marching Band performing at Northwest ISD Stadium. The Wildcat football team leading Southlake Carroll 31-14. We'll look around the rest of the scores, including telling you about last night's game between DeSoto and Harker Heights. The winner of that one faces the winner of this one next weekend.
It's the Whataburger Halftime Report on CW 33, Texas High School Football Playoffs. Denton Geyer leading Southlake Carroll 31-14. CW 33's host of Fun on the Run, Yolanda Williams, spoke to Tim Hogan. He's a Papa Murphy's Pizza franchise owner. Let's hear what he had to say. And while you're listening, be sure to scan the code on your screen to cast your vote in today's Papa Murphy's School Spirit Challenge.
So we want to thank our sponsor, Papa Murphy's Pizza. Hi, Tim.
Good morning, Yolanda.
All right, so I'm looking at, I want you to tell me how this whole take and bake pizza, how does it work?
It works very easily, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
You know, we start with fresh ingredients. Every day we're in here early, we're making the dough, we're shredding our cheese, we're preparing our vegetables, and we make you your pizza, whether you want us to create it on your own or whether you want to choose one of our menu items. We'll just go down our make line. We'll make that pizza specifically for you. We prepare it on an oven bakeable tray.
I really like that.
We'll wrap that up. You'll take that home. You'll preheat your oven to 425.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to bake for about 12 to 18 minutes. You're going to have a piping hot pizza coming out of your oven, and your kitchen's going to smell so good.
I know it will.
And your kids are going to love you.
You started trouble at my house.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me, how did you become a franchise owner?
You know, I was a customer.
Really?
Yep. I enjoyed the product, and I was looking for something else to do. I was a corporate slob and just wanted to get out of that world. So I decided to become an entrepreneur and open up my first store 12 years ago.
So why is it so important to you to be a part of this community?
Well, you know, we're a neighborhood store.
Yes.
So it's all about being in the neighborhood. So if you're in a neighborhood, you got to know who your neighbors are. Your neighbors are your community. So you got to be active in the community.
Yeah.
And from that community, you get business, you get employees, you get exposure, and you get to build your business.
Yes, yes. You know what? I'm going to take this to my neighbor.
You got it.
All right, everybody, we want to thank our sponsor, Papa Murphy's Pizza, and I want you to make sure to cast your vote for the Papa Murphy's School Spirit Challenge.
Perfect. Let's get that spirit going.
Let's get that spirit going.
All right, Yolanda and Tim, thank you very much. Be sure to vote in that School Spirit Challenge. If we could pop that QR code back up on the screen for one moment, let people get that in and cast their ballots. Again, vote for Geyer or Carroll. One of them will come out on top and pick up the big prize. At the end of the season, by the way, we'll award the most passionate fan base of all of our games this season on CW 33. Time to take a look at scores from around DFW. It's the Frontier scoreboard, and we start in Class 6A, Division 1. This is at McKinney ISD Stadium between Prosper and Louisville. Eagles lead the Fighting Farmers 10-7 at the break. Eagles looking for their first state championship since 2008. The Farmers haven't done it since 1996. Duncanville, they have outscored their first three playoff opponents by a combined 134 points. A little tighter today, but it's early. 14-6 in the first quarter versus Spring Westfield in Georgetown. The winner of our game will face DeSoto in the 6A Division II semifinal round. The Eagles scored 33 points in the first quarter versus Harker High and rolled to a 60-24 win. Moving to Class 5A, Division I, October 14th, Aledo beat Burleson Centennial 64-21. Today, the rematch in the Star. It is